Is that what you use?
I just switched. Yeah, I've been on Final Cut since it came out.
Oh,
Yeah,
long time.
a million years ago. I had a stint in Premiere,
Uh-huh.
and when I was doing all that cartoon stuff,
Right.
the compositing, everyone was on the Adobe suite.
Mhm.
So I did a little bit in Premiere, and then that was just a nightmare.
I've used Premiere too. I've used them all. Final Cut I started with,
Mhm.
but I left Final Cut when I left Apple. Like I left Apple software. I was still in college, 2004, 5,
Oh, wow.
something about that.
Yeah.
Because Logic, I remember Apple was still making. Apple had just bought Logic.
Yep.
Right. So it was like their first version. I think it was Logic 7, and then Final Cut. My buddy was he was at the film department at the same school. I was at the music department. So I was getting into Logic and he was getting into Final Cut. And both of us had like student, our senior projects or just whatever we were doing at the end of the semester. And I went to turn in mine. I mean, like the day before I went to turn mine in, I opened up the session and, I've got all these clips, all these regions that are like, on the timeline. They were scattered. They were just everywhere. Something that was on bar 2 was now on bar 75 and like 3 tracks down. It was just like all of a sudden everything was just totally fucked, right? Same thing happened to my buddy with his video project. And this was like Logic 7.1, Final Cut, whatever the earliest versions of it was.
Yeah.
But it was like the iPhone was right about to come out.
Yep.
And you could just tell Apple was like, "Oh, we don't care about the professional industry or whatever these customers are. We want the consumers."
Yep.
And prosumer level, and that's where they ended up finding their spot.
Yep.
So like, I haven't touched Final Cut or Logic in 20 years.
Yeah.
Because it burned me so bad. Like it ruined hours and hours and hours of work that I had to redo.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh yeah, Final Cut, cool. I'll stick with anything else.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have if Apple developed the software, I'm not interested. We
Yeah.
can't go there.
And DaVinci's free.
That too, man.
And
you
it's
can't.
so good.
Yeah.
I got the studio one because I didn't want to have to convert my video files.
Yeah.
And the studio will read my Sony files.
Perfect.
And it's amazing.
Mm.
It's so good. Have you got the speed editor? Have you
No,
seen that thing?
But I do a lot with macros and a lot with automation and stuff. So I have my own versions of those things, but no,
Yeah.
I don't have the peripherals themselves. Hey, Shim, nice of you to meet.
Oh, fuck off.
Nice of you to join us. Come have a seat, dude. It's a lovely podcast we're having.
I knew you'd start without me. Sorry about that. It was my son, and I got to pick up.
Of course you do.
If he wakes up in the morning and he wants to call, I got to pick up.
Yeah.
So
Do me a
yeah,
favor.
good.
Could you just say 1, 2, 3, check something?
1, 2, 3, check something.
Yeah, you
1,
too?
2, 3, check
Cool.
something.
Hey, all right, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, we can all hear each other.
Yeah, this is it. Are
It
you
is.
okay? So I'm gonna start.
Start.
The strangest thing though, are you nervous?
Me?
Yeah,
No.
I started getting nervous as soon as you walked in.
Really?
Just because I realized this is the first time that this is the first time that the vision is quote unquote official.
Yes.
Where there's another person in the room, we have a soft plan,
Wow.
and it's not
Very
and we're not,
soft.
and we're not making
Super
up for
flaccid.
like, yeah, it's not like, hey, we got to catch this and that because of this and that. It's like, yeah, this is like we've had this vision for like 4 years now, and you're our first
And here it is.
official guest
Yeah,
in
man.
the room.
I'm the
Yeah.
cherry.
Yeah.
You're the first one, dude.
And I'm glad it's
Wow.
an Aussie. I really am.
I mean, yeah. We can speak in code.
Mhm.
Well,
You guys totally
yeah.
can.
No.
There's a Letterkenny. Do you watch Letterkenny?
No, you told me about it though.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There was this Australian episode because like the whole thing is hockey and Canadian
Yeah.
lingo. You need subtitles to watch it if you're not Canadian because it's so Canadian. You really don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
But then there was an episode where they had a New Zealander and an Australian come over, and it's just the same thing. Like,
You still need subtitles.
yeah,
You need
Shim
more
flew in the
subtitles.
day after, and I was like, "Hey, rewatch this episode with me," because like all of these jokes are going over my head, dude. I don't know what they're talking about. What's a bogan?
A bogan is like a. How would you define a bogan?
I don't know. Some would argue I used to be a bogan.
Oh shit!
No, that's not
Yeah.
a bad thing.
No?
It's not. No, it's just like really, really fucking Aussie. Like really, like it's like
I thought they were rednecks. no?
halfway between trailer trash. Bogan's like halfway between trailer. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Like, if you think of an
I mean-
American trailer trash, that's kind of half bogan. They're
Okay.
like they're a little grungy, a little greasy. They're really not sophisticated, I guess would be the word.
you show up everywhere with flip flops.
Yeah.
which
Okay.
I used to show up at some gigs with flip flops and board shorts.
I used to play without shoes also. I would play barefoot.
And I must say, I didn't have flip flops. I had thongs.
Yeah.
Ah.
We call them
Yeah.
thongs.
Yes, of course you do.
And everything's she'll be right.
She'll be
There,
right.
did you hear there's a bomb going off? Like they're dropping a nuclear bomb on
she'll
Sydney.
be
She'll
right.
be right.
She'll be right.
She'll be right, mate.
Don't
She'll
worry
be
about it.
right. Everything she'll be right.
And everyone's like, who is she? Like,
Yeah,
no,
no.
she'll be right.
Yeah. Just the general she of Australian subculture. Sheila. Fucking Sheila. She'll be
It's
right.
actually funny. Like the longer you're over there, because you'll come here, you'll be here for weeks or months sometimes, and then like as you go home and the more Aussies you're talking to, like I can hear it in your voice,
Yeah.
like you're putting on more and more of that accent.
Yeah, you need to. Do you ever find when you go home if you round your R's too much and you got a little too much of the American twang that you have to kind of tailor it back again for Aussies?
Oh, my mum comments on it.
Really?
Yeah, pretty regularly. I'll show up back home and she'll
Yeah.
be like, "You sound really American."
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ashley, my wife, she's like, "No, he doesn't."
We can tell.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can tell.
No, but it's true. I always tell everyone like that when I first moved over, my favorite story was I couldn't order a drink. You couldn't go to a bar in LA with a
Water.
really deep, thick Aussie accent and order a drink. You'd ask for a glass of water, and if they didn't know, if it was a young bartender, they'd say like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah.
Say, like,
Woda?
glass of just.
I've seen it a million times with you. Your face. What? Can I get some water?
Yeah. And
I
you have
do
to, and
too.
they'd say like, well, we don't have any European beverages. Can you repeat that? And like they think I'm asking for some Dom Perignon or something that's got some fancy name. It's like no fucking water.
H2O.
And so instead of going water, you do the war, but the R at the end. As long as you put the R at the end, everything
Water.
works out.
Yeah.
Water. And they go, oh, water. Yeah, where are you from? And then you got a conversation going.
Yeah.
But like if you ask for water, then like depending on how loud the club is, I'll ask for water.
Yeah.
Like it all depends on the circumstances.
I'm guilty of that too.
You know what I do? I
Yeah.
do the opposite. When I travel outside of the country, I avoid Americans like the plague. Like, I'm a baggage claim, and there's somebody over here that's like, what? And I'm like, well, I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those loud Americans that you've all heard about,
Yeah.
right? But like, it starts with the moment I sit down in my seat, and like the flight crew will come by and ask you if you need anything, whatever you get. I always ask for a glass of water.
Yeah.
I'm very specific, and
Water.
I know my accent's not great, so I'll just say water.
Yeah.
Water, please.
Water,
Like
please.
I can barely get it out to be like, oh yeah, he's not one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not an American.
What happens if? What's your fear that's going to happen if they put you in the
Okay,
box of
okay.
oh, it's one of those Americans?
There's no fear, but there's just Americans know when we go abroad, we are not liked. Like we all know we are not well received, liked, enjoyed at all. At all. Typically, everyone say, "Oh, in France, they're nice, but they're only rude if you do this." Like, man, everyone's rude to us. Nobody fucking likes Americans.
Right.
When we're in their turf, it's funny. When they're over here, they love us. But yeah, you go abroad, it's you always want to be a good steward of
You want to be a good representative.
good
of the American
representative of your people, but
yeah.
also like, hey, I'm in your country.
Yeah.
Let's do as you do. I'm not trying to,
See, Aussies never suffer that affliction. We're loved everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
that's true.
We just get asked if we know Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Not
the
Hugh
only-
Jackman? I would say
No,
Hugh
not anymore.
Jackman.
It used to be Hugh Jackman. It
Yeah.
used to be the Crocodile Hunter.
That's how old we are.
And then it used to be jokes about the Crocodile Hunter because they didn't understand how much it actually hurt. And like I remember when I do radio interviews, they'd
that hurt back home, you mean?
No,
No.
it would hurt me because they'd make jokes about like, oh, did you hear he died of a broken heart, his wife? And I'm like, no, it's not funny, dude. It's not. And
Yeah.
and they'd make jokes about it. And eventually I was like, actually, it's like if like when not like JFK, but like when in Australia, when they talk about the assassination, we don't get it. We're like, why was he so important? And then if you're an American growing up, you're like, no, he made a difference. And in Australia, the Crocodile Hunter really did make a difference to a lot of different things. One, he was a massive export of just the Australian way. He was a good-hearted person. He was fearless. He was educational. And a lot of kids growing up learned about native wildlife, spiders, snakes, how to handle them, what to do from the Crocodile Hunter. He was like the cool uncle that taught you about how to be an Aussie.
Yeah.
Because when you were like, this is 20 years ago,
One's for you, Steve Irwin.
when you were coming up, if you lived in the city, you didn't have anyone in your life that was like, well, what do you do when you see a spider? You run for the hills. Well, it depends what spider. And what in general, like he taught you stuff.
Mhm.
And he really, as a result, you kind of took him into your heart a little bit. And when he died, it was really like, fuck, damn. Like the only problem was that everyone knew the writing on the wall. When they said, how did he die? He was doing his job and something finally got him. And it's like, damn, that was bound to happen. But
Yeah.
he seemed like he was going to fucking live forever because he made it through all the other shit, you know.
I was in
and-
middle school when that happened, and I remember that was my reaction too. Not like, I mean, obviously, yeah, it's sad, somebody died, but I remember just being like, guys, dude shoves his head in crocodile
Yeah.
mouths for a living. Like, I'm not surprised. I mean, okay, it was surprising that it was a, that it wasn't a gator, that it was, what,
It was a stingray.
Stingray, like,
A
very
stingray was
unlikely.
yeah. And the funny thing is that he never blamed the animals.
Of course
He
not,
always
yeah.
said, I'm in their turf. I'm handling them as responsibly as I can. Don't do this at home. And then, of course, yeah, once the one stingray, he touches it the wrong way and it defends itself. And it's 1 second too late.
Yeah.
It just went, psh, psh, and it just got him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, and that was the end of it. So, but yeah, like we have our, but anyway, going back to the traveling thing, like Australians are beloved everywhere. And I
Yeah.
think like I don't really know why it is. It's just,
How many, I know why. How many countries have you invaded and made better?
yeah, fair enough.
Because
Yeah.
we got, I don't know, 50 years.
And made better.
50 years
Where's
of
the- where's the
winning.
air quotes, yeah.
50 years of winning. We fixed so many places in Central America, South America, Asia. We're all over the place, dude. We'll fix everything.
Yeah.
For a few $1 billion,
Yeah.
and you're welcome.
Yeah.
That's why they don't like us. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it.
Yeah. But it is
I
interesting
understand.
that you curb your accent when you travel abroad, that you actually consciously curb it. Because I lay it on thick. Whenever I go through immigration, I'm like, g'day, mate.
Well,
Lovely to be
I do
here.
too.
Yeah, you do?
Big time.
Chris, can
Yeah?
you pull your mic
Yeah.
down a little bit? Just
Oh yeah.
yeah, just like that.
Get on
Perfect,
that thing.
Yeah.
I actually have a question. Have you ever used your Australian accent to get out of trouble somewhere else?
Define trouble.
Well, you get pulled over for a parking ticket, a speeding ticket, or you're at immigration, or someone's trying to throw you out of a bar, or like you're like
Throw
you're
you
trying-
out of a bar.
Yeah.
That one's different than the others.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not talking from personal experience.
Get out
anywhere
of
like,
jail free.
have you ever used it
Yeah.
to get out of a spot?
I don't know how many spots I get into like that, but I've definitely laid it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially going back home
Right.
through immigration.
Mm.
Yeah.
Going back home through immigration.
Yeah.
You just make sure you lay it on so they know where you're
Yeah.
coming from.
G'day guys.
Yeah. G'day, guys. Good to be home.
Yeah.
Ridgy Didge. How's the weather?
Yeah. All good. Yeah, now should be right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, anytime you're like, okay, this could cost me a few hours, right? Like you say the wrong thing. For us, it was going to Mexico, coming back and forth from Mexico. In the 90s, you didn't need a passport, and Mexico was really easy. Like Tijuana, San Diego, like
Right.
we would go almost every weekend. It's very easy to get into Mexico. But coming back, like coming into the States, like everyone would like, my dad's driving, right? And we got like 5 or 6 of my friends in the back seat, and he turned around, okay, no one's gonna make a single joke. Like
Yeah.
none.
Yeah.
Only yes sirs and no sirs.
Yep.
Nothing else. Don't say a single thing because we're not smuggling and we're not doing
Yeah.
anything, but they'll pull us over and we're going to sit here for 4.5 hours while they tear the wheels out.
Yeah.
They're going to take everything apart. So just
Yeah.
don't say anything,
Yeah.
right? Like if it's going to cost us a few hours, you'll
Yeah.
be fine, but nobody wants to make
I-
an 8-hour trip,
Yeah.
12 hours.
We literally had this. This is funny. This is a drummer story. The drummer in the band in Sick Puppies, when the first time that we went over to Australia to tour, and we were in baggage in the check-in, and we were trying to sweet talk the lady to be like, hey, we've got a couple of oversized bags. Can you cut us a deal? So we had a bottle of scotch that we'd gotten from the club, and we went up, and she was an American. So we were like, great, Mark, you're American. Go over and just sweeten the deal. And he goes over and he puts the bottle of scotch in front of her, says nothing, like something to just be like, hey, we have this extra. We'd love to, thanks so much. Doesn't say anything. And finally she was like, do you have anything in your bag that I need to know about? And he went, oh yeah, there's a bomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 hours fucking
Uh-huh.
gone.
Yep.
He had I was like, are you
Whoa.
kidding me? And he said, it was a joke. And not here. No,
Yeah.
it's not a joke here. As soon as you walk in those doors, nothing's funny.
Yep.
And I couldn't believe, I remember we specifically sent him because we were like, this is the one time when you can probably not fucking backfired. Totally
Yeah.
backfired.
Well, and then the other thing, like, as an American, like, we only know one language, really. I mean, like, we
American.
have other languages here, but like, we all
American.
speak English.
American.
So like, when I'm in France, Germany, a place where I don't know that everyone knows what I'm saying, right? So let's just be extra, super, super careful.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't want to wind up somewhere I'm not supposed to be. for any reason,
Yeah.
you know, voluntary or misunderstood, or fuck this guy, we need to get him out of here.
I
Like,
would-
nope,
you know
nope, nope. Just I'm not one of them.
I would like
I'm
to
all
hear
right.
in the
Hey,
comments.
some water is what I need.
in the in the comments section of this, I want to know, everyone watching, if there's any Americans that traveled abroad. Where's my camera? Where's my camera?
You're right above my
Right
head.
there.
Yeah.
If anyone's traveled abroad and used your American accent to get out of trouble or get into a club or anything like that, if you've ever actually used it, I want to hear about it, and we can talk about it next
Perfect.
time.
I use an American accent to get into a club in Australia.
Hey, I want to hear your American accent.
Whoa! That's
Tell the
new.
story. Tell the story, but in your American accent. Let's hear it.
I would
Yes, you
embarrass
can.
myself.
Yes, you
You
can.
can. Well, okay, let's role play it. So I'm the bouncer.
Okay,
And I'm like,
so,
g'day, mate. You want to come into the club?
so
Hey, mate.
So we were recording in Sydney.
We were.
We were
We were.
I can't say recording.
You can't.
Anyway,
Can't do it.
I can't say recording. I'm awful at this.
No,
Anyway,
you're doing great.
So,
It's so much better than my Australian.
so
Come on.
Australian's hard.
So
American's
we went to this club, the singer and I, and we spoke in an American accent all night.
Mm.
And all these people came over because they thought we were like someone from
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
We'd never been to America at all. And we were talking we were talking about all these streets and places in LA that didn't exist
Yeah.
because we didn't know. We just made up street names and we're like, yeah, we're on like North Beach Boulevard
Yeah.
or whatever.
They
And-
got him.
And like these managers started coming over, like because we told them we were in town to record some stuff, and these managers were coming over and giving us drinks and stuff.
You
And
mean the club manager or
the club
Right, right.
managers? Yeah, and all all these people were like, "Oh, who are these guys?"
Yeah.
But then the more we got into it, the more we were stuck in it. And all
Yes.
these people were like wanting to talk to us, so it went for hours, and we couldn't
Backfired.
we couldn't stop. And yeah, it went south
went-
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in they found you out.
We got completely away with it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would have got found out. I
Yeah.
don't have that level of
Yep.
consistency.
But it meant we couldn't give anybody contacts.
Yeah, I
we
was gonna
couldn't
say,
say who
pe-
we were.
People must have asked for like, where's your Instagram? How do I
Yeah.
find you?
Exactly. So there was no emails. It was completely anonymous. So we just played that to our strengths. We were just like, we can't talk about.
Mm.
Yeah.
We
It's very confidential.
Yeah.
You'll hear about it in a year.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah.
We would always play this game my whole life. Every time you're getting into a taxi, Uber, TSA at the airport, whatever it is, when we roll in, somebody working there is gonna be like, "So you guys in a band?"
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't miss us.
Yeah.
We don't look like anyone else. We're carrying this big heavy shit, and like, well, they're not golfers or hunters. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing rock musicians, right? So the question is like, hey, are you guys in a band?
Yeah.
And the game goes like this: somebody has to make up a band name, right? And then everyone else has to start like, oh yeah, this is our biggest single. We just released this song last month. Like you have to just make a bunch of shit up. And whoever breaks first, like whoever says something stupid or laughs, that guy's got to start it next time.
And I don't think we ever broke. I don't think. How many times did we ever?
Every time.
Every time?
Literally every time.
Really?
We would say, I give the same band name every time.
Yeah.
I'm in Sister Fister.
Yeah.
Since high school,
Yeah.
my band has been Sister Fister, but it's spelled S-Y. It's spelled like Leonard Skinner. Seister Feister.
Oh, okay,
Right?
Yeah.
But so like I'm not kidding. Since high school, hey, what band do you get? Oh, we're Sister Fister.
Yeah.
And then the next guy's, but my brother big, yeah, we got the song called "I Only Fist Losers" or like whatever the thing is, you know. Like, beggars are choosers. I only fist losers. That was, that was the name of the song. Right? So like everyone just has to think of like the worst thing,
Yeah.
and the person who's checking your IDs or running you through, like, sure,
Yeah, they
maybe
don't-
you are. Like they have
don't
no idea.
disbelieve you. They
Yeah.
don't, because if you play it clean, they're like, well, I mean, like, why would you make that up? And
Yeah.
of course, maybe so. And it's not their job to say like, excuse me, are you being serious?
Yeah,
Like
no.
they just be like, oh wow,
I just
okay.
looked you up. I can't find you
Yeah.
anywhere.
Okay, so check this out. When we
Yeah.
play Alaska,
Yeah.
I do that. Same exact thing, and the girl at the TSA goes, "I follow you guys on Facebook," and I'm like, "No shit, I've been doing this for a long time. I might have started a Facebook page for this.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember." But so like, I was just sitting there like, did Sister Fister make it to Alaska? I think we did.
Yeah.
I think I put that on my mantle.
Oh, that's great.
Actually, what was your first band? What was your first like band? Did you make a band or did you join someone else's band? What was the first thing where you started jamming with people?
I think I joined a band Then they were 21 and I was 15.
Good.
You were that one. Yeah,
I
that was
was-
me too.
Yeah, you too.
I was the young one.
Yeah. So yeah, I joined them, and then every band in Australia, I think we made. Yeah.
You made with, like-
we all started together.
Right.
Yeah.
But what was the first band? Was that like a metal band, like a punk band? What was it?
It was
Was it good or was it shit?
it was somewhere between Creed and Seven Dust.
Oh, okay. That's my lane.
Creed and Dust.
Yeah.
Creed and Dust. Yeah. So that would have been like 2001, so right in that
Yeah.
Creed Seven Dust era.
Mm.
Yeah.
That was a good year for Creed.
Yeah, it was called Nubian.
Nubian.
Yeah.
Seven Dust didn't really hit where I was. Like Creed was all over the radio, and I
Yeah.
know Seven Dust huge in the Midwest, but like on the West Coast, like that, like Papa Roach, Godsmack, all the things that were huge in rock radio, like no one in LA was listening to that stuff. Seven
Really?
Dust, Slipknot, even.
Yeah.
And
They
it just
all,
didn't make it till years later.
They all made
Yeah.
it to Australia.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
Seven-
huge.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember the first time I heard Seven Dust on Rage. Rage is the we didn't have MTV yet, so basically on Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
Friday and
Rage,
Saturday night
Rage.
from midnight to 6. And I would set my VCR to tape it, and then I would watch the whole thing the next morning.
Yeah.
And it was just music videos, but it was fucking awesome because they would play. They wouldn't really play hits. They wouldn't really play top 40. They would play alternative music, and then they'd play some European stuff and dance stuff. There was stuff with like naked ladies in it, but it was artistic and weird and avant-garde, and like there was really
You're having a good
bizarre-
time.
Yeah, there was really interesting stuff. The first time I heard Björk, Björk
Yeah.
was massive. Remember that?
Mhm.
She had a few singles. She blew the fuck up because of Rage, because no one was going to play Björk. And Seven Dust
I've never
as
heard
well.
it said that way before. We always said Bjork.
Björk. Yeah, we say I say Björk. Do you say Björk? Björk.
I say Bjork.
Okay,
Yeah.
I Björk. Okay.
Might be a West Coast thing.
Maybe. But yeah, I found Seven Dust, and I remember the first time I fucking heard it was like the first time I heard Welcome to the Jungle. I just switched on. I was like, whoa, what
Yeah.
is this?
Me too.
Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
That band changed my life.
Seven Dust?
Yeah, for the drums.
Yeah.
Yep. When I heard that, I'm like, quarter notes and metal? What? This is
What about
amazing.
Deftones? Were you a Deftones fan?
Totally missed the boat.
I was gonna say everyone
Yep.
I know who's a massive diehard Deftone fan, drummer,
Yep.
and which is the album? Well, White Pony, like of course
Yeah.
it's all about that song,
Yeah.
that snare drum. I don't know what it is, but every drummer I know
Was he
who's
the-
into Deftones.
Was he the first
loves.
drummer that used piccolo? Was he the first one that really popularized the piccolo
Ska
snare in
bands were
metal?
doing that forever.
Because
Yeah.
every metal band after Deftones had to have a fucking piccolo snare in there
Yeah.
after that. But I think they were the first one. I think.
I know drummers like the bounce of it. It's very marching bandy, so it's really easy to do rudiments and stuff. But I would much prefer the sound of a drop, really low tuned snare. That's
Oh,
always a
me
thuddy
too.
snare, nothing poppy.
Me too.
Not my thing.
Have you heard the story about what's that? The Two Princes tune?
No.
What's that?
Spin Doctors.
Oh.
With
That's
that the snare, yes,
With
with the snare drum intro.
Just go ahead now. Oh yeah.
And it's got
Yeah.
that really famous piccolo
Yeah.
snare in the beginning.
No shit, I didn't know that, huh?
And yeah, I just saw this story recently that one of the producers was like really into the like late 80s snare drums, the big poof
Right.
stuff, and they wanted that to be on the song, and the band fought for the piccolo,
Wow.
and then it became like the iconic piccolo song.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, you heard it a lot.
It's funny though. It does make a difference. That snare
Yeah.
on a big fat snare would not. That would not just sound.
No
the same
doubt,
or feel the same.
Tragic Kingdom. That's a very high pitched snare
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
96, 97.
Slipknot, all
Yep.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that too in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Piccolo.
Yeah, and just tune it up like till your elbow hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, is it high enough? Like, I got more.
Mm. I used to play low. I play very high. Like now, my bass pretty much always sits about where my belly button is, and when I play with you, I drop it down to where my groin is.
It still isn't low
It's
enough.
still not low. But like
when I see pictures of him and me on stage, I'm like, something's off.
yeah, I just can't do it, man. Yeah, like I used to play like Chris Novoselic,
Yeah.
like all the way down there, but you just can't play lines. The only
No,
thing
you
you
can't
can
play.
do is
Plus, you'll
chug,
fuck,
chug,
your-
chug,
you'll
chug,
fuck
chug.
your back up.
Well, and your wrist, like
Yeah.
your
Doing
fingers are
this.
just all at the wrong angle.
Yeah.
So
I can't stand up and play guitar at all. I look like someone's cousin.
what is that? I look like someone's cousin.
I look like someone's cousin.
You know, like the person in the band where they're like, They
That's
just
why he's here.
yeah,
Mm,
they needed a guitar player, and that was his cousin.
I like it.
Yeah.
I always call that guy like Jerry. Like, what was Jesus's brother's name? Jerry Christ. You know him,
Jerry.
right? Like,
Yeah.
he's forgotten about. He's
I
way down there.
I've heard a lot of stories about bass players that the reason that like 50% of famous bass players get into bass because the band already had a guitar player.
And they
That
were a
was
cousin.
what-
Yeah,
and what?
exactly,
It
exactly.
was a cousin.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is the reason that Emma started playing bass. When I first met Emma was the name of the bass player in my original band. And we met in the High School Music room because we double booked it. So I walked in and she was already there with a guitar, and I was like, it's my turn. She was like, no, it's my turn. So we were like, do you know any Green Day songs? Yes. So I get on the drums because I started on the drums. Shit. And
It's the reason why I started there.
Yeah,
and stay there.
and then she's on guitar, and we're playing. You know, we started as like I played drums and sang, and she played guitar. And then we needed to find a bass player, but there was one other guy, and he was like, I'm not playing bass. I already suck at guitar. So she was like, all right, I'll do the bass. So he's on guitar, I'm on drums singing, she's on bass. And then once we found a drummer and blah, 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 but she just stayed on the bass. She would never have picked up the bass if we could have found a fucking bass player. And now she's like very well known as this iconic female bass player from the 2010s. But like it wouldn't have happened if we'd found if there was anyone else available in the fucking school that had a bass, she would never have picked up the bass. You know, then
Well, that's how most of us, not most of us, I'd say like half. A solid half bass players start because guitar is too hard or it's taken already.
right.
You know, so it's like, I took a guitar lesson. I don't know about that. This one's missing 2 strings. Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
that's
And
easy.
you only play 1.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people. That was me. I was 7.
Mm.
I didn't make it past my first guitar lesson. My uncle's a guitar teacher, and like, yeah, that's too hard. My dad's a bass player. I dragged his bass out of his closet, sat it on my lap, and figured out Wild Thing. I was like, yo, this is my jam, man.
Yeah.
I can do this one.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, a lot of us, you know, come to it from that way. Very few people are like, oh yeah, bass, that's my thing.
Yeah.
That low end, what it does, the power, the inversions. Like, you don't know that in the beginning, but
Yeah.
like you're drawn to it. That was me later on, but like the thing that put bass on the map at all was just like, oh, it's actually playable. This one's not as hard as some of the other ones.
What
Mhm.
made
know?
What made you get into drums? How did you get started?
I was banging on pots and pans as a tiny little kid.
Right.
And I had my grandfather was a percussionist, and him and Nan, they both pushed me sort of this way.
Mm.
And my mum did everything she could to
make it not
to get
happen?
me into a guitar.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. She was like, here's a guitar. You want a guitar? I'm like, can I have a drum kit? She's like, no, but you can have this guitar if you like.
No.
I think what she
parents.
was saying was, would you like an easier life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
or not a
Um,
loud house.
Oh man, yes, that's what it was about.
That was what.
yeah.
I have no kids, but Uncle Jayme buys lots of drum sets for
Yeah.
nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
It's the biggest, like, to my brother and my sisters. It's like, I love you guys. You're great. You have 3 kids. Here's 3 drum sets.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. Trust me.
Yeah.
I just keep
that
thinking of
house.
the hassle of the setup, bringing things in. I didn't become a lead. I became a lead singer from ego, but when I found out later, I was like, oh, I don't have to bring anything. I don't have
Yeah.
to pack anything. Like that's a great fringe benefit. Like if someone said like, hey, have your choice, drums would for me be the. I mean, and I played drums and I like playing drums, but I'm not dealing with the setup. It's not
Preaching
for-
to the choir here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it pays to have roadies and a tech
Yeah.
crew. I
Yeah,
bet,
but
you know.
how? Yeah, it takes a long time to get there. You're setting up for years before you get to
Yeah.
that point, and like, yeah,
If I could do it again, I would do harmonica.
that's a good.
There's
idea.
a melodica right there. That one's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like what 3 people in town that'll play harmonica.
Yeah.
And they're always busy.
Yep.
Always busy.
I remember my brother got a blues harmonica, and we used to go to this. It's called the Season Ticket, right? And so it was a bar about twice the size of this room. On Wednesday nights, they would do jam night. 12-bar blues, 17 guitar players, bass and drums, right? So it was just like a room like this, and everyone would set up in a circle, and it would be like, 1 round of Crossroads, and then guitar solo, guitar solo, guitar solo, guitar solo, guitar. 17 guitar solos. We'd get back to the guy. He would sing 1 more verse of Crossroads, and then next song.
Yeah.
Another 12-bar blues, the same thing, right? So it would just be 4 hours of that. And we would go hang out every once in a while because it's a cool place to get drunk. And Jason gets a harmonica. The day he gets the harmonica, there was one other person at this show, a harmonica player, right? So all these 17 guitar players, and then this dude, rips on blues harp, right? And so my brother walks up to him afterwards, like, "Hey, man, that was awesome. I thought you sounded great. I just bought a harmonica today," and like he's trying to connect with this guy, and he goes, how do you keep it like every time I bring it up and I start playing, and then when I take it out or like as I'm sliding it, it's ripping out my mustache hairs, right? And it's really fucking painful, man. How do you prevent that from happening? And we're college students at this point, so we're studying music, and this is the whole point. Like, how do you do this? We're
Yeah.
learning. And this grizzled like 60-year-old dude just turns to Jason, like he looks like Duck Dynasty, by the way. This guy's got a beard, right? Jason and I, we got little beards, and so this dude just looks at my brother and he goes, "I'm a fucking man." Takes a swig of his drink and walks out. And Jason and I looked at each other like, "You're not a harmonica player. I don't think this one's not for you.
Yeah.
You've got to be way harder for this."
Not hard enough for harmonica.
No.
That's a band name right there.
Yep.
Hard enough for harmonica.
Hard harmonicas.
Jesus Christ. No, I remember the same thing. There was one session I did a million years ago. What's that thing with the I'm blanking on the name of it. It's it's a metal rod and you bring your hand in and out and woo,
Theremin.
Theremin. And I met a professional theremin player who came in partly just to make contact, but also like, yeah, we could use theremin on this one song. And I'm talking to him about it, and I was like, "Man, how long have you been playing?" He was like, "Oh, I've been playing forever, classically trained, all this sort of stuff." And then I asked him, like, it must be, I don't know, it was before I understood the back and forth of it. And I said, it must be hard to find work because, like, how many people need a theremin? And he was like, I wish I could find one more theremin player as good as me because I can't pass the work off.
Yeah.
I'm backed up for 3 months. He's like, there's no other classically trained theremin player. And he's working all the fucking time. And I'm like, how many times do you hear a theremin in anything? And he's working...
Movies?
Yeah, but like even then, how often do you even hear it?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, program the fucking thing. Like, what, you're hiring the guy? But then I heard him play and I was like, wow.
Well, here's the thing. You're saying, you say classically trained.
Yeah.
It's the first electronic classical instrument.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first... Bob Moog comes out with the Moog synthesizer like a few years later. Right. The theremin in 1918, 15, 20, whenever electricity comes out. How do you know
this shit?
We had to take it in music history. So you learn about Bob Moog, you learn about the theremin, because there are Gershwin would be writing concertos, the theremin concerto. You know, like you would go see an orchestra, 100 people, and then one person in the middle, you know, doing all the. It sounds like opera. It was the first time someone sounded like a voice, but no one was singing. It was coming from the wall, from the electricity. That's weird. I mean, like candles. It was like that. It was like that crossover, right? So it's the first electronic instrument, I think, and like, yeah, it was a classical instrument at first. There are so many theremin concertos in the early 1900s.
So that makes sense to me. But then how does a theremin actually create the sound? How does it work?
It's the opposite
because that
of
means
a radio.
That it is the most rudimentary instrument ever created then, right? Because it was like, it just catches. Well, how the fuck does it work?
I bought one once, and an engineering student helped me reverse engineer it. He goes, "Oh yeah, it's just the opposite of a radio tower. Instead of picking up signal, it puts out signal," or whatever it was. I was like, okay, my brain can understand that.
Right.
So I think it's like kind of like how microphones and speakers are backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you can use a speaker to mic up a kick drum. That's what a sub kick is.
Right, right.
You just take the red wire and the black wire, and you go whoop.
Yeah.
You flip flop them. Now your speaker's a microphone.
Yeah.
So I think the theremin and like a radio tower are the same kind of thing. The closer you get to a radio tower, you can hear it. The further away you get, you can't hear it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that.
I don't know. I'm not smart enough.
Have you ever played one?
Yeah, I used to have one.
Did you ever actually get anything out of it that was usable?
There's there's probably multiple kinds of theremins. There's one that they call the Zepp, and most people play that one.
Right.
So
yeah, you know the Zepp.
Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin played a theremin, and it's just a black box, and he would just like. Right. Like he would just use it to make noise, essentially.
Right.
I don't know that he would be playing melodies. I'm not that big of a Zeppelin fan, but I just know like when you think of the Led Zeppelin theremin trick, it's more to make noise than it is to like play.
Have you ever played with a theremin? Like it played with a band with anyone?
Well, so a real theremin has two axes. There's a pole sticking up, and then there's this one goes this way, and you have two hands. One controls pitch, and then the other controls velocity or volume, and so you do this kind of thing with it.
And that was the hand.
Yep.
That's all your different notes.
Yeah, and he I remember the guy was doing this like it was like he was holding a wand and he was like doing this, and then the other one was like, and I'm like, you look like you're in Lord of the Rings.
You're conducting. You're conducting nothing.
Yeah, it was, and he was so fucking good. It was crazy, and I'm like, Yeah, it was pretty. It was like a magic trick, straight up magic trick. But he was
That's cool.
making it sound like a voice or an
Yeah.
instrument. And then I thought it was a joke until I heard him play, and then I was like, yeah, you need to be in every room.
That's what I mean. When you see what Zeppelin did with it or any of those, you're like, oh, that's a cool thing. And then listen to a theremin concerto,
Mm.
and you're like, there's 45 minutes of this. This is the hardest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I could have played this on my
Yeah,
instrument.
yeah.
They wrote really intricate music for it too.
Actually, that's in terms of like your experience playing and stuff. How diverse is your whole repertoire of like the different types of have you played any classical stuff? You said percussion. Did you ever do like classical percussion
Yeah,
stuff?
in high school, I was on snare and timpani.
Okay.
Timpani in high school. Wow,
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
that shit's expensive.
Yeah, yeah,
Timpanis are like $50,000 to $100,000 usually.
yeah. And I'm just sitting there going,
Yeah,
bow, bow.
One of the highest paid people in the orchestra too.
For that,
Wow.
boing.
Timpani,
Yeah,
the loudest ones.
Right.
The loudest ones who can make the most noticeable mistakes. French horn, timpani, yeah, those are your highest paid players.
Interesting.
yep.
Okay.
Underneath the concert master, which is the principal violinist.
But like outside of that, did you do like metal stuff? I know you play pop punk with Avril.
Yep.
But have you done like prog metal? Like how far have you gone?
Yeah. I when I was 18, I was like full metal, like kick drums at 200,
Woo!
doing the stuff, and then the new metal kind of stuff, and then had a big Dave Matthews era.
Okay, that's how you know
So-
you're a drummer.
I like Cutter
Yeah.
Beaufort too.
Yeah, so every pop band I was in for a while was basically Dave Matthews on drums. Sometimes it worked, sometimes
I was
it
gonna say,
didn't
how many
work.
times did you get fired for putting too much on the cymbals?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
my early records, the drums are pretty low in the mix. But
Makes sense.
yeah, and then I got pretty into like the rock pop world.
Mm.
Yeah, but I did jazz band as well in school. That was fun. And then
I didn't.
You didn't do that?
No.
I did the odd jazz session in Perth, but it was very like vanilla jazz.
Perth jazz.
Yeah, ding-a-ling kind of stuff. There
Yeah.
was no crazy comping. I'm not the jazz guy.
Have you played in any other higher level jazz bands like around America and stuff? You never got back into it?
Nah,
Okay.
in the States, no, it's just been rock and pop pretty
Okay.
much.
Well, that's where the money is.
Yeah.
It's not as much in jazz. Not that I know.
Well, it depends on where you go. New York, you can live as a jazz. I don't know about today, but like back in the day, like you would just go from like one club to the next, to the next, to the next. They all paid you $40.
Yep. On
That's
the-
200 when you put it all together,
Yeah.
and you can do it in a night because
Yeah.
there's so many of them. Whereas like LA, it was harder to make it as a jazz musician because like you could play the baked potato, and then where's the next venue?
Yeah.
Yep.
45 minutes to 2
But
hours
New
away.
York,
Like
New York must be like one of the only places that you can actually do that. Like there's New York, maybe a couple of spots in France or Italy.
for
like,
jazz,
London
for jazz
as well.
stuff,
Yeah.
or Prague, or
I would say
don't know.
Berkeley and
Yeah.
Boston, but that's a small
Yeah.
New York City essentially.
Yeah.
That's why I like Boston so much.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's like a manageable New York. I couldn't live in New York. God bless you for being able to do it. Like it's too much for me.
Yeah.
But Boston, it's like, oh, I could handle this. It's kind of like New York, but it's scaled down.
It's like there's a lot of bogans in
Yeah.
in Boston, but
Boston,
that I think maybe like and I might get in trouble for saying this.
Do it.
But like a really generic Bostonite, someone that's just grown up there, lived there, does things the way that he does, and it's like, yeah, everything will work out in the end. That's about as close as you can get to a bogan.
You know what? I've always said that the Bostonian accent is
the
the
hardest?
closest. No, it's the closest to like I see. You know how you hear Southern accent, you hear Los Angeles, Australian, English, like British. It's like it's all the same language. How did we screw it up so much, or how
Right.
do we keep changing it? When I listen to Boston and I listen to Australian, it's like I see ka. Ba, like
Yeah.
like there's some things that the way they stress their words, and it's like that's Americanized Australian almost. Like
That's-
I
that's
see
actually
how
true,
like
yeah.
the same people went to both islands and cultivated the language that way.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't
Yeah.
they
I don't
say
know.
water? Water?
in Boston,
Do they say that, or it's somewhere on the East Coast? They have that.
They do on hard
water.
I always think like park the car. So you go like, you park the car and get a glass of water. They'd say water.
What? Okay.
They would say, I think. Well, but if you're a Bostonite, look, tell
Please.
us how
Tell
to
me-
say water.
Tell me where that accent
spell
is.
it in the comments.
Why?
I'll tell you though, the Rhode Island one of all the American accents, Rhode Island's the hardest for me because it's like the Boston accent, but most people can put their accents off, and especially when they get around other people,
Yeah.
and it's like we can do that.
Yeah.
But the
But
hard
no,
Rhode
no.
Island,
Yeah.
like that
but
one,
they fucking own it too. They
Yeah,
love
they
it.
do.
They're like, no, I'm not changing for fucking you.
Fuck
fucking
you. Yeah,
anybody.
exactly.
Fuck yes.
yeah, yeah, like Boston is proud, but Rhode Island's just like, man,
Yeah.
they'll kill you over their
Yeah.
accent. Yeah.
Where?
go
How
for
many
it.
places have you? Where's your touring taken you? Like, how far out past the pond have you gone?
I was trying to work that out this year. I may have done every state except Alaska. I haven't been to Alaska yet.
You played Hawaii?
Yep.
All right.
I haven't
Yeah,
done
North
Hawaii.
Carolina.
I haven't played. Hawaii is the one state I haven't played.
Yeah.
In Maine, I haven't played Maine either.
We did that this year.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. Good food.
Dude, Maine.
Yeah.
I was
Good
really lucky.
food.
Maine was one of the places where my band was the biggest, so we went there a lot. Portland, Maine. Like, yeah, the food's fantastic, and we
Yeah.
were lucky because like they got really good old-fashioned pub food, plus all of the seafood.
Yeah.
The what do you call it? The bisque or the whatever.
Lobster
Anything-
bisque.
Lobster bisque,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was it's really wholesome. You stay there for too long, you get fat real quick because they make it good. They make it good
Yeah.
there.
I always feel like I'm in a Stephen King novel. Every time I'm like from New Hampshire and up, it's just like, wow,
Mm.
this is
It feels it's nice.
Stephen King land,
nice, but it's
Castle Rock.
Exactly. But what
Yeah.
about like internationally? Where else have you gone? Have you gone everywhere internationally as well?
No, we did a lot of Japan, South America, all over Europe. Never been back to Australia to play
Really?
since I left. Yep. Never been back. We've been booked
Haven't
3
played a home
times.
show since you moved to the States.
Yep.
How long ago was that?
10 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we've had 3 runs booked and they've all cancelled.
With Avril?
No, this I think they were all with Filter actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and
How
they've
long
all
were you with
cancelled.
Filter?
I think 5 years
Nice.
thereabouts. Yeah. Yep. But yep, that's my bucket list is to go home and play.
Go play in Australia.
Yeah, touring Australia is very, very difficult compared to everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to feel upset that we didn't break back into Australia, and now I'm like, nah, it's not worth the hassle. It's not worth it.
It's a lot of money to get
It's
over there.
expensive and long and difficult.
Yeah, and like I don't want to shit on Australia, but the reason that I left is because there's not that much passion for live music as there is in other countries. Like people aren't the culture of it when we came up and there was festivals like the Big Day Out and Home
Yeah.
Bake and stuff. There's no more festivals. The bands that do come over usually need to do a strip down show. The only band that I ever saw that did their full show was Nickelback, and when I played with them and saw that they still had the pyro and the whole thing, but that was Nickelback. They sold out every show, and the tickets were expensive, and they were like,
Not
"Yeah,
everyone can afford
we
that.
know exactly how much we're going to make. We can afford to do this." But every other band is like, "We're not going to risk."
Yeah.
You know, we're not like unless you sell out every show before you even start to plan to go over there, and you don't know what you're going to make. It's not worth the risk. So, I remember 9 Inch Nails actually chose not to come over a couple of times because they couldn't do the show that they wanted to do. They're like, "We're not stripping down our set. We do a show. If it's not that show, we're not coming." And they canceled
Wow.
because like they
Yeah.
just something went wrong with the booking or whatever. But yeah, I'm like when you look at having actually lived, grown up, and worked in both, like when you tour, like all little things, like when you tour America, there's a passion for it and there's a griminess, but the backstage areas are usually shit. When you play Europe, Germany, Italy, there's a passion and the backstage areas are dope. Like the spread is great, the food is awesome, they take care of you. And then Alaska's like, well, we know what Alaska's like.
Yeah.
And, so there's all
I
these, and then,
love
and
Alaska.
then when you go to Australia, it's like none of the good stuff, all the work. Like you backstage is like you take care of yourself. Here's your buyout. Go and figure it out. Okay, can you? Where's a good place to eat? Yeah, they're all good. Whatever. Just fuck off.
So good.
Like there's not as much hospitality. There's not as much this and that because when you come to Australia, the thing that you love about Australia is it's all good, mate. It's all good, laid back. We're not going to try too hard. Can someone show us? Nah, no one's going to try. No one's going to put the effort in. Like maybe if you're Selena Gomez or Taylor Swift, and that's the thing that really fucking grinds my gears about it is that when a really big level American like comes to Australia, we just roll out the red carpet and fawn, and it's like, oh, everything in this room is now validated because a big American walked in, and they'll make a big say what?
The other reason they hate us.
Yeah, but like, dude, I remember the most recent one, which I just thought was fucking hilarious because I understood exactly what was going on. Alice Cooper came to play a benefit show. It was after the fires. So you've got, by the way, Americans, you're not going to know any of these fucking names. You got Delta Goodrem, you got Guy Sebastian, you got all the. I think John Farnham was there and didn't play. All the biggest celebrities in Australian pop music that no one else has heard anywhere else, right? And it's the Superdome. It's the big fucking show, and Alice Cooper's headlining. And all anyone's talking about is it's 2 hours until we have Alice Cooper on the couch. 1 hour and counting, and Alice Cooper will be here. And I'm like, there's all these other artists that are starving for an interview. And like, why don't you promoting them? But no, it's all Alice Cooper will be here shortly. And then when Alice Cooper comes in, he's so fucking relaxed. And they're trying to make it like, so tell us about Australia and this and that. And he was like, oh, no, honestly, we just happen to be, this just worked with our routing. Like and then they asked like, can you play this? And we're like, yeah, it's for a good cause. We'll cut our rate. Oh, but you know, and they try to make a big deal. And he's like, yeah, it's just another fucking gig. And then when they asked, oh, have you had a chance to meet the other artist, the Australian? Have you seen any? And he caught himself before he said it. He was like, oh yeah, I had a couple of them come up to me. It was really cute how much they were really excited about. Anyway, like he was basically saying like, you guys don't get out much, right? Like everyone's really excited about a stadium show. Like these guys don't play stadiums. They don't get to play to 20,000 people. They're very excited. And like, it was so fucking obvious that like, we are just fawning over, and Alice Cooper's great, but like it's just another band. It's a good band. Why are we making it so much bigger and different? Because you're American and you came all the way over here.
Because you're here.
But you won't give Australian artists that same level of like we did, dude. We did it. We came to America. We had the big album, the big single. We went back and we said we're #1, and we're like we did everything you said. Can you now? And they were like, nah. Well, you know, you think you're good because you're here with Nickelback, right?
Think you're good.
Think you're fucking good. I'm like,
good,
and that it broke my heart, man. I was like, we did everything you said we had to do. We came back. And we just want you to book the gigs, promote it correctly, and give us some respect. And they wouldn't fucking do it.
Wow.
They were just like, nah, you know, like for some reason, because we weren't Silverchair or Jet, we didn't break in Australia first. They were like, oh, you had to leave, did ya? So you think you're big in America, so you come back here with thinking you're big shit. And that was when I wrote it off. I was like, I love Australia for everything else, but working there, nah, I'll pass.
You know, I learned from a guy, his name's Voice McGinley. He's a drummer, and he used to play for Kitaro, which you guys have probably never heard of. But Kitaro is like he's the Beatles of Japan. He's probably the largest #1 selling like new age is what we call his music.
The Bees? Is he the guy in the Bees?
No, his name's Kitaro.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm thinking of another band that's as big as the Beatles. Go
no,
ahead.
I mean he's got to be 70 something now. I know he's retired, but like yeah. For decades, he was the #1 like selling like new age. If you went to the CD store and there was a new age section, Kitaro was #1, right? So like not that big here in the States, but Japan, anywhere in Asia. And so Voice was his drummer for like 10 years or something. He was a good friend of mine. And like he said, like we'd be playing Taj Mahal. We'd be playing in India, Thailand, just somewhere. I get off the plane and everyone's mobbing me for like autographs, photos, and this is before social media and any of that stuff. Like, you had to really know who the drummer for this band was in order to like. He's just a hired gun. He's not on the album.
Yeah,
you know. And so like, he said like, I'm one of the biggest stars in the world, everywhere else, but in Simi Valley, California, I'm just Voice. Like it's the opposite problem that like maybe John Mayer or figure fill in the blank would have. It's like he can't go to the liquor store and buy a pack of smokes without 10 people wanting a photo and this and that and other things. Where he's like, when you're home, it's better to just be yourself. Yeah. And then you go out to work and it's like, oh yeah, they roll out the red carpet and all the things, but you don't want that at home. That sucks at home.
Well, you've got Avril, you got Filter. What are some other bands that you've rolled with?
Tom Morello.
Right.
No shit.
That was fun.
Was that Street Sweeper or his solo thing?
Solo
thing.
Yeah.
So like when you go home and people know, hey, you've played with some big guys and you live in America and you've made it. Like, do they treat you any differently? Do you get is there any blowback or any even validation on it, or is it like Chris is home?
Nah, they're definitely aware and appreciative.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, oh wow, they actually went and did it.
That is the most Australian sounding compliment I've ever
heard. I was about to say.
Oh, wow.
That tells you everything you need to know about. Look at that. Oh, you actually did it. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
Cool.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Heard about Chris? What? No, he went off and did it.
Yeah, good for him.
No.
What's he doing next?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
In America, it'd be like they'd be making a big deal. They'd be like, "Congratulations, we're so happy for
Definitely in your hometown,
you." Yeah,
and especially if you're a small town in Texas, like that kind of thing. Like, yeah, we celebrate you. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
yeah. I've noticed that actually. Don't forget to get on that mic, brother.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say actually, we're I've never had some in this configuration before. Yeah, so like
It's working.
I don't know what's what's what, but like yeah, you can move this thing around, get it this side or that side, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Explore the space.
I find it interesting
some
when
bass.
a lot of people when when it's their turn to talk, they do this, they grab it like it's going to make a difference. I'm like, it's right there.
Yeah.
Just there you go. But no, it is something that I started doing. I don't know if you do this as well, but I started to take back certain things from America that were good things, but then I had to tailor them to the Australian stuff. For example, like there was one time when I was asking there was a lady who was sick and she was going through some chemo stuff, and I asked her like, oh, how are you feeling? And I ask everyone, how are you feeling? I don't say how you doing, because everyone says how you doing. I ask you how you feeling, and then it just triggers the person to go like, oh, I feel good. And then when they say they feel good, you're like, because no one says I feel bad, and if they do, well, we should talk about that. But if I'm like, hey man, how you feeling? Yeah, I feel good, and then they're in that place. How you doing is like whatever, like it's a greeting. I asked this one lady, how you feeling, and she said, I wish everyone would stop asking that. And I forgot,
Oh.
it's because you're going through whatever. But I had to start doing that, because how you doing, mate? How you doing? That's very Australian. When I go back to Australia and I ask how you feeling, no one else says that. No one else, and it always works to just get the conversation a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have anything where you go back and you're like, oh yeah, I picked this up in America and I take it home consciously, or is it really just don't round the R's and get back to being Aussie, mate? Aussie. Oi, oi.
Yeah. I think I kind of sink back into it.
Yeah.
It might hit me soon. Something might come to my mind that I bring back.
Yeah.
Because there are some good things.
Yeah, well, the biggest
Yeah,
thing...
we're a cool place,
No,
guys.
yeah.
Come on.
The biggest thing for me, which...
America's fun.
Relating back to what we were just saying, is no one in and this sounds terrible. Australia's awesome and Australians are great, but very rarely will you hear an Australian say, "That's great, man. I'm really happy for you." Right? In America, they'll say, "I'm really happy for you." You can't say, "I'm proud of you, good job," or whatever. But like, no, if you tell me like, "Hey man, I got this job and I had this plan, I executed it and it worked out," I will say, "Man, I'm really happy for you." But in Australia, we're not happy for each other. We're like, oh, so you did something great. Well, I don't have anything to share right now, Jayme, so I guess I'll just hang up.
Thanks for making
Like,
me feel like shit.
Yeah, thanks for making me feel like, so you just, and now I've got to take it on board. It's a whole tall poppy thing, and it's in everything. And I make a point as often as possible. And I notice whenever I'm on the phone with an Aussie where they're like, hey, so my son got into, something in the sports thing. Oh, it's cool, man. I'm really happy for you guys. They actually take a step back and go, thanks, man. Yeah, we're happy too.
Yep.
But no one says it. That's the biggest thing I bring over from America, because you can't make a bigger deal than that. It gets awkward. But if you just say, I'm really happy for you, it really makes them feel good, makes an impact.
Yeah. Americans are very forthcoming with their emotions.
Yeah.
How so? What do you mean?
Like that. Like if you're proud and you're happy for someone,
You say it.
you'll say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's great.
Instead of not?
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
like if you have a small thing, you go like, man. I mean, if you're an American, the American way would have been like, that is fantastic news. I am so proud of you, and I'm really happy for you. And Aussie's gonna go, what are you fucking trying to say, mate? What are you getting at? What, like it's nothing? Like you're better? Like you can't go too hard.
Yeah.
That's why a little throw off of like, I'm really happy for you. That's enough. I've tried it. Any further than that, and they get a bit uncomfortable. Like, what's going on?
Nah, dude, my favorite one is the
patronizing
Germans.
me? Or?
Yeah. There's got to be a fucking motive.
The Germans have my favorite. They're just like, oh yes, that is efficient.
That
That is good.
I love that.
The Germans
Yeah.
are my favorite. My wife comes from I mean, she didn't speak German or nothing like that, but on both of her sides of the family, German heritage. And you can just tell, like, they're a very orderly, like, nope, this is how you stand in line this way. Like, these are the rules. This is how it goes. Like, it is most efficient. And you're
Yeah.
like, son of a bitch, you're right. It is
Yeah.
efficient. You guys got efficiency down.
Yeah.
Yep. Which
Yeah.
I really like whenever we go out to those
Yeah, I love
parts of
Germany.
Europe. I love that. Where it's
Yeah.
just like, is it this? And they're like, yes. I'm like,
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't tell for the longest time if like my German friends just didn't have senses of humor, or if their humor was very, very dry, or if they were just answering my questions. Like, are you mad at me, or are you just saying yes? There's no passive aggressive thing going
Yeah.
on. You're just like, no, that is correct.
Yes.
It is correct.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's efficient.
A smile would help me not feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not correct.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why are you saying it so confidently?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Germany. And the Germans. They're fantastic
Mm.
people. We should record a song is what we should do
We
next.
should
huh?
probably do something. We should do something efficient.
We should. Well, you know what?
Something productive.
The thing I love about what we're doing here with this show is like I'm not trying to push anything along or like, okay, we have to hit these beats and then this. Like, it's actually perfectly fine if the conversation's over and it's like, hey, let's
Let's start
jam now.
playing.
Let's start playing
Yeah,
some
let's start
music.
doing
That's
some
the next
stuff.
thing that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Chris, where do people find you? Because here's the thing. We're gonna record some songs now,
Yes.
but I can't guarantee that these songs are gonna come out next week and then the week after, like 3 episodic episodes or something like that. So
Mhm.
I'm assuming this one's going to come out first. Let's just pretend that this is the first episode with you. So, like, how do people get in touch with you? Where they find you? No, before we go, we need to talk about Drum Fuzzled.
Let's talk about
We
Drum
haven't talked
Fuzzled.
about that at all.
Drum fuzzled.
Drum
Let's talk
Fuzzled.
about Drum
Shim
Fuzzled.
doesn't even know. Tell him what it is.
Tell me what is.
Let's tell you about Drum Fuzzled.
Okay.
It's basically my new school, and it's going to be a channel, and it'll be a series of courses that I'm halfway through producing at the moment, and learning how business works.
Woo!
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My condolences.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been fun. This is my first endeavor into anything solo
Really?
ever. Like, I've never recorded my own stuff. I've never put my own stuff. I've been teaching for 25 years, like one-on-one and group stuff like that, but never had my own thing. And I never felt like I needed to go and blast myself online, like all my playing and everything, because I was busy working.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
a good reason.
I was playing like 7 nights a week. Like, I didn't have the energy, and I didn't know what to say either. And then it sort of dawned on me with your help that
Mm.
I can create this thing because I have a method that I teach, and I've had thousands of students that have all enjoyed their time, I hope. But yeah, and I just sort of put it all together, and I went and spoke to my dad at the beginning of the year, and I said, I'm thinking about doing this, thinking about putting together some courses and building a bit of a like learning network around drumming. And
What did he say?
he was like, I think you should do it. And so I went home. I was on a dog walk. I went home and I wrote out 4 years of curriculum in 3 hours.
There you go.
Hell
You sound like-
yeah.
yeah, I can see why you two get along.
Yeah, baby.
I just went like, okay, I imagined a student coming in on day one and just went, and I called in the next day and I'm like, man, like, I've finished.
Mhm.
And then basically I have spent, this was in what, January?
Yeah.
And it's now whenever it is. And
It's now November.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When this comes out, who knows? But yeah.
and
Drum Fuzzled is out by now.
yeah, so
There's
I'm
a link in the description. Go click on it.
That's right. Go see it. Yeah. And so basically, yeah, since then I've been writing it and producing it and setting everything up, and I've built a production company. And
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing to actually be seeing something come to life now. It's been all in here.
Yeah.
That you spoke into existence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought of this, and then I had to go and figure out how to design. Like, I do it all tactile. Like, I've built props. I had to design props, and because I used to do animation in another life.
Hell
Really?
yeah.
And I can't be bothered anymore. It's like 20 hours a day behind the computer.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I would rather spend 20 hours designing something and
Yeah.
doing something cool, and then being able to move it around and do stuff. So thinking of these things and then finding someone to produce it and then having it and then looking at it and going, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
It's really rewarding. And
Yeah.
things like this that you guys are doing, like I know how much goes into this kind of thing
A little
now.
bit.
It's a little bit.
And I never realized that before. Like, I was just the dude that shows up and plays drums.
Well, honestly, we
know?
talk about that sometimes. It's the reason a lot of people don't do it. You
It's-
need to have a
yeah.
lot of ingredients need to be in place. Like, you can be great at playing drums and not have the entrepreneur mindset.
Yep.
Or then you can start to develop it and then you're not consistent.
Yep.
Or you're consistent to a degree and you price everything too low and you go out of
or
business.
budget.
Yeah. And like
Entrepreneur
there's
means
so
you need
many
capital.
things. Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck.
There's so many pieces.
And now I get it. In January, I think I said to you, I'm like, I don't think I could do this, because why would anyone want to come to me?
Yeah.
And I think you said it best. You're just like, well, why would you go to this burger place when you could go to one of the biggest on the planet? And like, well, maybe they like this burger better.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. If you're McDonald's, In-N-Out doesn't have you.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's not that In-N-Out is better than McDonald's or one way or the other, but like, yeah, you're a standalone product. You're different. You have your experiences and your.
Yeah, I say the exact same thing to singers that I'm coaching and people who are songwriters who are, they've started writing songs, and the biggest thing that comes up is, well, why should I be writing songs? What do I have to say?
Yep.
Like, why would anyone listen to what I say? And the most the most logical way that I describe it is, everybody from birth until this exact moment, everyone goes, well, the reason that people, like, for example, I'll ask you, when you were like, why would anyone listen to me? Is the subtext of that because I'm not special? Is that kind of where it comes from? Like, what makes you think, why should I do this?
An element of that, but also just the competition.
Right.
Like, everyone can be a drum teacher,
Right.
and there's a handful of people that have got millions of followers and subscribers, and I'm like, why would they invest in anyone else when these guys have done it so well? And then, but then, as we say, we're like, well, it's my voice.
Exactly.
They've done well. They haven't done what you do. Well.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that I relate to these singers, where I'm like, they go, well, what's my chances of becoming a Taylor Swift or whatever? I'm like, that's not what it's about whatsoever.
Yeah.
The point of it is, then special and unique are two different things. They go, well, I'm not special like Taylor Swift. I'm like, well, Taylor Swift wasn't special until she was Taylor Swift. She was unique.
Yeah.
And everyone gets to be unique. And the thing that always clicks them over is to go from birth until now, you've got 100 million experiences that you have that no one else has.
Yep.
And several of those are like rooted through trauma or through your first kiss or your first high school graduation, like things where you're like, I can remember the details.
Yep.
And that's that is special. There's elements in there, the way that all the ingredients get put together into your one experience. So if you learn the structure of how to write a song, then that makes it special. Yep. You're not special with just the random things, but when you put it into this thing like your courses, you go, well, now it's worth something. Now it's special. It's a gift that you get to give to these people. And then all of these people who do, like, there's going to be a lot of people that might listen to that one song and go, I don't relate to it. But there's other people that are like, dude, my first kiss was in the back of a Chevy as well. I remember the leather, the thing, like worrying about getting her home to her dad on time. And if you have all those experiences, they're going to relate to that. And you have a style and a way of speaking and the Australian thing, plus coming over from the other side of the world.
Yep.
You put all of it together, and there's got to be hundreds of thousands of people that are going to go, because of what he's been through, I can learn better from him. I relate to the way that he says it, the way that he teaches. And that's the thing that I tell everyone when they start to get into it. Why should I do? Well, why should you do anything? Because you're the thing, your export, your energy, your choices are what makes something unique into it being special.
Yep.
You make it special. It's not special just because it's there. And then when you package it and you produce it and you make it a song or a course or a performance, whatever, once it goes out there, which is why you were saying, like, when you start to see it come to life, that's the reason you selfishly do it.
Yeah.
You do it selfishly to go, fuck, I made that. That's mine. That wouldn't have happened if I hadn't chosen to make it special. Before, it was just stuff.
Yep.
And that's the reason we do all this shit. Because otherwise, you wouldn't put yourself through it. It's too much fucking work.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
The thing I not envy, but I admire the most from, like, my friends who work blue collar jobs, glass work, construction, anything like that. It's like, man, I really wish that at the end of my day, I could look at my work and be like, there it is. Guys, see that? It wasn't there. There was nothing. And then today we worked for 6 hours. And then look, there's frames, there's drywall, whatever the thing is.
Yep.
And like, we could work. Some of these songs are 3 years old. The two that you're going to record, we did 2 years ago and 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They're not done yet. Still working on it. And it's close. But then you got, like, you could do it all in a day and
Yeah.
it wouldn't be finished. You don't get to look at it, see it, hand it. It's still got to go to distribution. It's still got to get printed into a vinyl to some point where I can corporeally hold the thing that I did.
Yep.
Months,
Yeah.
maybe years down the line. It's like, man, I really do admire the people who, like, at the end of their work, they can at least look at the thing that's like, yep, it wasn't there. Now
Now
it
it's
is.
there.
I did that. I'm gonna go drink a beer. Right?
Yeah.
It's like I get it. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yep.
I wish it was that easy for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's a
Yeah.
good place to finish.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So if people want to find you, you're
Yes.
drumfuzzle.com,
Drumfuzzled.com.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, same thing.
All the things at Drumfuzzled.
Awesome.
Drumfuzzled.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Drumfuzzled.
And where did that come from? Just out of let's finish on that. Where'd the name come from?
So I Googled the funniest words, and bumfuzzled was the first one, which was
Rhymes
it-
with.
yeah, it was made famous, I think, in the States by Bill Clinton. I think he said it on the House floor. He was
Okay.
like, bumfuzzled, and everyone was like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's a real word. It means to be confused.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, bum rhymes with drum.
Spoken like a fucking songwriter, mate.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so it's clearing up confusion about drums.
That's
Hell yeah,
really
dude.
good.
I
I
like
like
it.
that. That's really good.
Thanks.
Is it just standalone course material? Do you have like play-alongs? Do you like what's the
Yeah.
curriculum look like? A little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. Yep, lots of play-alongs.
Hell yeah.
I basically, because it was going to be my voice and I had all this time and my deadline, I basically built the thing that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I always had all these analogies and stuff when I was teaching. I'm like, I want to see them.
Yeah.
Like if I'm talking about how loud a jet airplane is and why you should wear earplugs, I want to go and see a jet airplane while I'm doing this, you know?
And did
Okay.
you do that?
That's next. All the location stuff is next. So I've been
Wow.
No shit.
Dude, we would
Yeah.
never do
Whoa,
anything like that. That's
no.
way more high end than that's
Wow.
great.
So I've been in the
Do
studio.
you need a bass player?
Well, let's talk. So yeah, I've been in the studio for a couple of months, like
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. And yeah, like I talk about subdivision with pizza, and I went and bought pizzas.
That's great.
I designed custom pizza boxes with an animator from Fox
Sick.
Yeah.
with my logo as if it was a real pizza place.
Nice. Badass.
And I'm using the real food because I wanted to like interact with
Yeah.
it and see cheese
That's
oozing
really
and
great.
And see, this is what
Yeah.
I mean. Like,
Yeah.
you could say, like, oh man, why do we need this when there's Drumeo? I don't think they have pizza
Yeah.
boxes. I don't think they're filming on jet engines. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not to say you have to, but like, I want to see it now.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
that's-
curious to see what the hell this all looks
that's
like, right?
unique and special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that's-
I haven't seen anyone do it, and it's what I would want to see.
Yeah.
And because of my
And
filmmaker,
sometimes that's the problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because of my filmmaker background, that's why I haven't ever done anything like this because I know what it takes.
Right.
And then I was just like, I'm gonna try and do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
South
that's-
American Express.
That's not too different from like the same thing, like releasing a record as a sideman. I was a sideman forever. I didn't want to make my own stuff. I know exactly. I see him.
Yeah.
Like I see how much
I
work
wouldn't
that
do
is.
I
don't
wouldn't
want to
yeah.
do that.
The only reason that I'm releasing new music now is because I'm working with him. Because I know what goes into it. And I had a couple of times after COVID where I was like, okay, here's a song. Yeah, I'll put it out. I do it. And I just didn't have the consistency to really push it correctly. And I wasn't going to sign with a label. I wasn't going to go through the whole. I was like,
Take out loans.
yeah, I literally was just waiting until this opportunity presented it. I waited until the right opportunity presented itself, and then this happened, and I went,
and that was the only
"Yes,
thing left. So
this ticks all the boxes." Because I had a bunch of offers from different things, like come play guitar with this, or we could sign you for a shit deal, or we could. And I'm like, I just kept saying no. I'm like, no, I know what all of that's like. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you're more defined by what you say no to than what you say yes to.
let's end with that. That was a good line. That should be a song. Shit.